Hello, 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 and happy Wednesday, everyone. Hopefully, you guys had an amazing Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun with family, barbecues, and all of those great things as well. It is your girl, Miss Lee, full time real estate investor and entrepreneur, coming to you live from the Atlanta, Georgia area. And today it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you, Miss Yana Epps, real estate investor and agent out of the California area and super mom out of the California area. Give you a second to please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, viewers. My name is Yana Epps. I'm actually an agent and an investor, and I do consider myself to be a super mom. Thank you for that compliment, Miss Lee.
You're very welcome. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how long, I know you said you've been in real estate investing for a really long time, 20 years. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure, it wasn't necessarily investing that got me into real estate. One of my first jobs at probably age 18, I was a mortgage lender. So that was like my first exposure to real estate. At that time, once I learned about equity and how everything works in real estate, it was my idea to make a multifamily investment when I was 19. So I wanted to work with my father to take equity out of his house to buy a duplex. And so I kind of got the bug really early because I was in a family where there was like a lot of real estate transactions happening. My aunts and uncles, different people in my family were investing in real estate. My grandparents owned real estate. And at the time growing up, my mom was flipping houses. So that was really my beginning to like flipping. So I was always on site with her, painting, helping with the projects, and I got really interested in it, that was kind of my start. There was also, my dad actually built a house when I was 12 from the ground up. And having hands-on experience with him in construction made me really interested in that aspect of real estate. So I went on to get my license in 2008. And then I was just doing that part-time, working a full-time job. I've actually been employed with my employer for 16 years. So I wanted to get to the point eventually where real estate could take me out of the job. But I actually got started selling houses right before the crash. So at that time, it was really challenging, especially if you didn't have like a big book of business. Most of the sales at that time were like REOs. And if you didn't have relationships with the banks, it was a little discouraging. So kind of put that on hold and just focused on my regular job until recently.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And so you said your family used to buy a lot of real estate. Was that in the California market, or where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area, so it was local here in the Bay Area, single family, multifamily. They all invested here in the Bay Area.
Wow, so you have seen the market trend, shift dramatically in your market. I know briefly when we spoke the other day, you were saying there's a lot of challenges in the Bay Area to find really great deals just because of the price point and things like that. Tell us a little bit about how that shift in the market and kind of where you've seen it and kind of how it's developed at this current point.
Well, when it comes to like cash flow, buy and hold, California obviously isn't the best market for that. We're more of an appreciation market. The best strategy here is to buy low and wait for the prices to rise.
Right.
Unfortunately, just because of the price points, if you buy in California, you'd be lucky if and I say it's hardly almost ever that you can actually find a property that cash flows. So if you're looking for a portfolio of rentals, it's not the best market for that. Now, if you are strategic and you're doing fix and flips, there's money to be made, but it's very transactional. So if you're looking for like more of a passive investment model, California is really tough. Now, that's not to say that there aren't deals that will cash flow. You just have to find really motivated sellers or really underpriced properties in order to make that work.
Wow. Now, when growing up and seeing the real estate, how has the market changed from when your parents and your family were doing investing and buying and building to now? How has that shift changed? Like, is it a dramatic change from then to now?
I wouldn't say there's been a dramatic change in this local market. There's been a constant rise of property values. It takes a really big economic change to see like a big swing in our market values here.
Right.
So while there may be changes happening across the nation from a national standpoint within the micro market of the Bay Area, we've
Right.
seen pretty much a steady incline, with the exception of obviously right after the last recession and things like that. But we've been on a pretty stable upward swing since about 2011.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome. So now,
but
I know we spoke briefly about just the importance of education and the fact that you've done a lot of networking. Last year, you said on flights, you were on over 25 flights, just attending different events and networking with different business professionals. How important is continuous education to you and in your business as you develop and grow as a real estate investor?
very important. I'm glad you asked that because, like I said, when I got when I got started in real estate and I
Mhm,
got my license and just did transactions on the side, it
mhm,
wasn't until about 2017 where I started to really think about like my retirement plan and how much longer I have to work. What am I going to do next?
right,
And multifamily has always been my focus. So I decided that I wanted to start an investment company. And the first step for me was educating myself. So I read as many books as I could. Everyone that I followed on YouTube and everything that I learned on the internet, I basically found a way to go meet these people in person, have conversations, get
right,
a strategy, and I attended as many conferences as I could. So I really wanted to be well educated so I could feel well equipped for success. And that
right,
was a major part of my 2019. So I traveled all over the country. I got to meet a lot of great people. I built a really big network. And I think that that's the first step. And it's really important to have that network because this is a relationship based business. So education is not cheap. But if you're willing to make an investment in yourself, I think it will come back. The first thing that I spent a big amount of money on, well, not the first thing, but the biggest ticket item was a mentorship that I invested about probably almost close to $30,000 on.
wow,
And I took a chance because this is a very important fact that I want to share with everybody. There are several shiny objects out there. There are different market strategies, but you have to know what works in your market. So the strategy that I'm talking about is wholesaling, right? Because initially that's the way that you get into it. It requires the least amount of a capital investment. Wholesaling is a great strategy for markets that it works in. And not to say that there aren't wholesale transactions happening here in the Bay Area, because I still am involved in them. But when
right,
I look at what my peers and my peers from this mentorship group are doing, they're very successful in their markets. They have a ton of volume. And I simply believe that that's because it is easier to negotiate houses that cost maybe $50,000. It's easier to negotiate transactions on lower price points. And here in the Bay Area, while homes are averaging 800 to a million, 800,000 to $1 million, it's very challenging to make a negotiation over the phone, which is the model that works best in wholesaling. So for me, investing in that mentorship program, and my mentor was great. I can't say anything negative about the program. It's just that it wasn't a strategy that works well in my market. So I had to pivot.
right. Question on that, just on a side note, the mentors and the programs and things that you went to, were you partnering up with mentors in your market or in other markets as well when it came to wholesaling real estate?
A lot of both. So
Ooh,
not only was I flying around the country to be a part of these larger conferences, but like probably 2 to 3 times a week, I was attending local meetups here. So that's another thing. If you want to if you want to get invested in real estate, or if you want to start investing in real estate, I should say, you have to be a part of your local meetups too. So that was a big part of it. Sometimes I would drive an hour away. For those that are familiar, I live in the East Bay area, and San Jose is about an hour drive, an hour and a half with traffic. Sacramento is about an hour away, an hour and a half with traffic. So I was going to meetup events as far as I can, find them, and just trying to create a network. And this was like 2 to 3 times a week, taking time away from my family and important time that I could just be, relaxing. But it was an investment that I was willing to make to kind of establish myself.
And like you said, it's super important, that education aspect. So not only were you traveling, you were also learning in your own market and really taking that time to study and master the craft.
Yeah, and the local network is really important because then you get to know your own market strategies, right? I got really excited about wholesaling. It is a great strategy, On average, for what I've seen, the people around the country that do wholesale transactions, their average assignment fee, and you could speak to this, you're a very successful wholesaler. Assignment fees average maybe $20,000, right? And if you are in California, the average assignment fee may be closer to fifty to $100,000 for each transaction.
Wow.
Which is not even unheard of here. But how many transactions will you have a year? They're going to be far and few between. So that's the difference. And when I was investing thousands of dollars into marketing every month and hiring a team and, pouring a lot of time and energy into it and not having constant transactions, it got a little discouraging. So I realized there's definitely drawbacks of doing that in this market, but there's also benefits of working as an investor in this market. Wow. And the benefits are that in this market, there's a lot of capital. There are a lot of people who are in the same boat as me. We want to invest in real estate, but we don't want to invest locally. So when I say pivot, that's what I had to start, taking another look at, is how can I make these challenges and disadvantages advantages for myself, since multifamily was always the end goal and I was trying to build up capital through wholesaling, I started to teach myself about syndication, because one of the challenges here for people like myself is we want to invest in properties, but the yield isn't high enough in this market. So how do we connect local investors with properties in other markets that have higher returns? And that was, I didn't realize it at the time, but all of the networking that I did around the country definitely led up to the connections that I need to be able to bridge that gap.
Wow. And so now syndication is the direction in which you're heading into with your business. And I know you said you have a new business partner and a few groups. If you talk to our viewers a little bit about that.
Thank you. Absolutely. So what I did is I started my investment company, and then I started a local meetup group. And I had just began to start my own local meetup when I partnered up with one of the more experienced local meetup hosts in this area, Bobby Sharma. He's my partner now. So Bobby and I have been friends for a very long time. I was a regular at his meetups, and I learned a lot through his group. And when we decided to partner up, it just made sense. So what we've been doing is focusing on education. It's really a passion of mine to kind of evangelize investment strategies, financial literacy, and just get people thinking about early retirement. I know we're kind of taught that you have to work until you're like 70 years old, but that's not really reality. Like, there are ways to take shortcuts and get passive income. So that is really a passion of mine. And through the meetup, we're able to bring in people, different resources. I don't claim to be an expert in anything. I'm not a guru, but I like to share what I learned. So it's really nice to be able to put that information out there. Building a brand on social media, building a platform on social media was one of the quickest ways that I could think to do that. So I started a social media group called Real Estate and Investment Strategies. So we're growing rapidly, and it's a really nice platform, really interactive. We encourage engagement, and there's all kinds of partnerships and networking that flourish from that group. So that's two of the things that we're doing. The Facebook group, the local meetups. As soon as we're able to, we'll be back to live events. In fact, we had a massive live event planned for April 25th that we had to put on hold due to COVID, where we were bringing in speakers from all over the country. But when we come back, it'll be bigger and better. And the third thing is a website called Better Capital. So Bobby and a partner of his have been working on this project for about a year, but it is a really great platform. We'll plan to do some demos in the near future. It's basically a platform that allows, let's say you're a wholesaler, right? There's one component of the website that allows for transactions online. So if you're a wholesaler in Atlanta, for example, but you don't have a cash buyers list, you'll be able to upload your deal on this platform and have people from all across the nation see your deal and all the details. So you can also put, we're building it out, and we're trying to get more participants. So if anyone's interested, please inbox me, send me a message. I'll tell you how you can post your deals. From there, we're also planning to spotlight deals once a week on our Deal of the Week platform, where we'll be able to discuss your deal on a live platform and have live interaction from viewers to talk about your deal. You could be a broker, an agent, a seller who's looking, to do an for sale by owner.
Right.
And another component of the website is, let's see, tracking. So if you have assets like rentals, or if you're involved in syndications, you can actually put all of your investments into this platform and be able to track the performance on a single dashboard. So that's pretty cool.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
the last component of that website is training. So we're working with a lot of different trainers and people who provide resources related to the real estate industry, financial services, to bring those resources to our members.
Wow. And so is that website live now? And if so, what's the name of the
It
website?
is. It is. It's bettercapital.us. And we'll be doing some demos so you can figure out how to upload your deals. But if, like, in the meantime, if you have any questions or you want to share a deal, just reach out to me and I'll be able to help you get onboarded.
Wow. So you guys got that. It's bettercapital.us. And it sounds like an amazing, idea and an amazing component to be able to spotlight properties and to, post your properties and have investors from all over, because a lot of times some people may not have the cash buyers. Or is it a place as well for homeowners to list their properties if they're in the position of ready to sell as well?
Yeah, we want to, for sure, if you have a property that you want to sell for sell by owner, like obviously there's classifieds, but where else can you market your property? There's other sites, but we're just trying to make this like an all-in-one. So
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing stuff. So,
thank you.
agent, investor, and you grew up in the industry. You're also, though, a mother of an amazing young lady who just got accepted into college. If you could take a moment and just talk about motherhood and being an investor as well, and tell us a little bit about your daughter as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she is my pride and joy. I really do everything that I'm doing for her, don't make me cry. Yeah, I'm not like, it takes a lot of time away from our relationship to do what I'm doing. And
Right.
gosh, dang it, Miss Lee.
I'm sorry.
I can probably talk about her without crying. She makes me so proud. She just got accepted into UC Berkeley. She got a full scholarship. And she's everything, she's doing everything the way that I want her to do it. And I think that has to do with, I wouldn't say like I'm a strict parent, but I really have rules and boundaries, and that's been enforced since day one. And if I ever could write a book or give any advice, I would say that you have to start early. Like,
Right.
You just can't allow kids to cross the line with you, and they have to respect you enough to listen to what you say, and also admire you enough to follow your lead. So I've been trying to set an example for her. She's just as hardworking as I am. And I think that, I've accomplished that goal with her. She really turned out to be everything I wanted.
Wow, that's amazing. And so you said she's received a scholarship?
She did. She got a full ride to Berkeley. They're going to pay her tuition, books, expenses, personal expenses. It's really a blessing.
That's amazing.
Especially considering that I spent over $100,000 last year to invest in my business. And that was really her college fund initially. But I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I get it back. And, I'm building it back, but she's starting college right now. So that's a blessing that she got a full scholarship.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you on that. And what is her goals? What would she like to accomplish as a student?
She wants to be a neuroradiologist. So she's super smart. She started college when she was 10 because she wasn't being challenged at school. So I had to put her in some classes that was really going to push her and make sure she was being challenged academically. So by the time she even got to high school, there were no math classes for her to take. She had already taken everything that you could possibly take in high school. Wow. So she had to keep taking math just to show that she continued. So she had to go to night school after regular school. So.
And at what age was she doing that?
Night school, she had to do that in high school. So at first it was me driving her, sitting in the parking lot for 2 hours while she takes a math class 2 times a week. And then it was, she would take herself when she got a driver's license. So.
Wow. Well, I mean, being a mom and being a mom of a daughter who is obviously really thriving is something that is to be celebrated. And when I seen that, I said, just I want to spotlight that and highlight mothers who really go above and beyond for their daughters and share that information with other moms who may be thinking, okay, now what do I do? Things like that. So definitely, do you see a book or anything like that in your future as a student?
People have asked me that before. I mean, I don't think there's like a right or wrong way. If I ever wrote a book, it would just be what I did. I'm not,
Right,
any expert, but
right,
there's no blueprint to parenting, but there
right.
are certain things that I did and did early that I think contributed to her success. The fact that she's never argued with me, never talked back to me, never, slammed a door, had a tantrum, never, not even one time in life. And I can really say that that has to do with the relationship that I established early on, and I don't judge other people. I'm in the grocery store, I see kids falling on the ground, screaming, crying, saying no, but at that point is when you should try to correct it. I also have a past as a dog trainer, so I know how it works with both animals and people. You have to instill obedience from the beginning.
Wow, that's important. And so, even if not a book, maybe a course, a live course where moms can kind of connect with you and kind of learn, because I mean, that's so profound, a trainer to now raising an amazing young lady. So, I mean, great job to you on that. Has
Maybe
she
in the
shown
future.
a desire to get into real estate investing?
Oh yeah, she's definitely interested. So right now she talks about it a lot. She was planning to get her license by the time she was 18, but that got put on the back burner because she has so many extracurricular activities at school. But she definitely is. She is an intern for our business, and she's definitely doing a lot of tasks related to real estate investing right now. Eventually, she wants to be a doctor and an investor. So
Wow.
she knows that you can do both at the same time. And I tell her up front, you're 18, you're entering the workforce. You can make a plan to exit early, or you can try to work for 30, 40 years like everyone else. But if you do
Right.
things the right way in the right order, you don't have to do that. So,
Wow. That's phenomenal. So, what advice would you give someone with a 1-year-old who's just starting out and they're just new baby, 1-year-old or newborn? What advice would you give to a new mom just starting out?
just be firm. There's a nice balance between being affectionate and comforting and being firm and having boundaries.
Right.
I think she would consider me one of her best friends. Like, I'm very open and we can talk about anything, but I
Right.
also have rules and she knows that. So from the beginning, when kids are crying or trying to get your attention and, acting out for a response, sometimes you just have to cut it short and don't give them the energy that they're looking for, and they know that doesn't work. And I say start early with discipline and having rules and boundaries.
Wow. That's great advice. Great advice. So again, I mean, real estate investor, agent, and a mother. What else is in store for Miss Yana Epps? What can we expect out of all the great things that you've got going on?
Well, for now, I want to just continue along the path of being able to share what I know about real estate and making sure other people understand that there's so many opportunities besides a 9 to 5 every day. And in the future, my one of my immediate goals is to try to acquire like 1,000 doors at least within a year's time. So everything that I'm doing right now is kind of building up to that. We're partnering with some great operators in different markets and building our network, having people in local markets where we want to have investments.
Mhm.
And eventually I have a 3-year plan to retire, so we'll see if I can make that come true. And if not, I'm also happily employed. I love my job, um, but we'll see what happens.
And how important would you say is it to have that plan? You said you have a 3-year plan in place. How important is it to have that plan, and how regularly do you review the plan?
I think it's very important. I mean, it's like setting out on a road trip. Like,
Right,
you have to have a destination in order to, follow the roadmap. Like, if
right,
you don't know where you're going, you're not going to be able to like take strategic steps towards getting there. And a lot of it can seem overwhelming at times because there's so much that needs to be done. But if you take it one step at a time and you have a plan and you can make sure you're executing and checking off the check marks. Like, sometimes I honestly consider myself to be like a supreme novice in
wow,
relation to where I see myself in 5 years. I'm a I'm a starter, but I'm getting there step by step, day by day. I make a
right,
commitment to reading at least a couple chapters every day, spending some time reading news articles and continuously educating myself. And even if I'm not accomplishing milestones,
Hmm.
in the time frame that I anticipate, I know that I'm still making ground. Like I'm still working towards my ultimate goal, and I won't stop. So I think setting the goal, doing everything you can to get there, but also not stopping if you don't meet the goals, just continuing on day by day.
Wow, super important information. And I know in my life, I always say growing daily. Each day, strive to be better than the person you were the day before. Just always
Absolutely.
continuously be growing and pouring into yourself in all areas of your life to become your best is super important.
And that's it, really. Don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes we don't accomplish the goals that we want to set out to accomplish in the time frame that we anticipate, but you can't
Right.
let that get you down. Like you just have to keep pressing forward.
Yeah. So, so very true. So very true. So, I mean, you shared a lot of nuggets today on the keys to success. I know that you also work out and, you're big on fitness. You've been sharing your fitness journey. Share with us some of the keys to just sticking to that because I've seen a before and after photo and I had no idea, share with the world, our viewers a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, so I think everything that I do, it kind of goes hand in hand with like one major quality, and that's discipline. Like
Right.
raising your children to have discipline, work ethic requires discipline,
Right.
success requires discipline,
Mhm.
and accomplishing your fitness goals requires discipline. I one of my goals this year was work on my upper body strength. So I started to do like push-ups every day. And I kid you not, like I could not do one push-up maybe 30 days ago. I couldn't. Like I've never been able to do, well, when I was 18, I could do push-ups, but
Right.
I didn't have any upper body strength, but I started doing push-ups on my knees. And then eventually my husband said, okay, get off your knees and put your legs up like a regular push-up. And I could barely do one at the time, but every day it went from 1 to 3 to 10 to 15 to 20. Now I can do like 32 push-ups unbroken. And my goal is to get back to 60.
Wow.
So like just step by step, I think goal setting works the same way, but discipline. And, I used to be 35 pounds heavier than what I am today, just because I fell off. Like I've always had a regular routine and I like to work out, but last year with all that travel and everything that I was doing on my business, it just became like low priority and I gave up on it. And part of me felt so incomplete. Like within me, this may be a Virgo thing or a military thing. I don't know, but I don't
Right.
feel complete unless every part of my life is like on track, like my health, my money, my relationship. Like I have to have it all intact. And when I let my fitness go, I just felt so incomplete. So I was like, I got to bring that back, got to incorporate it no matter what, 30 minutes a day, get it done. And 4 months later, I lost the 30 pounds.
Wow, congratulations to you on that. I mean, like you said, success in all areas of your life is so important. And when if you feel that inkling of I need to change something, kind of making that adjustment and being consistent with it. You started off, you couldn't do one push up, but now you're up to 30 and the goal is 60. That is amazing. Like, what do you, and you were in the military? Did you say you were in the military?
When I was a teenager. Yeah.
Wow.
So
So,
some of those goals that I set, well, my goals are based on those things that I accomplished at age 18, and I'm finding myself getting back to that.
wow, that is amazing. That is amazing stuff. Well, definitely, I mean, continue to share your journey. I know in my group, the Billionaire Businesswomen Mastermind, we encourage the women to share their journey in life when it comes to working out and motherhood and real estate investing and just developing themselves to become their best in all areas of life. That's something that is really important to me. Just, showing women that it is possible and inspiring one another because sometimes we may have issues in certain areas, but it doesn't mean it cannot be corrected as you develop and grow.
And shout out to you, Miss Lee, for your platform as well. Like I love what you're doing as well. Like you had some really inspirational people on your show lately, which is why I feel like honored to be here. So
Thank you.
thank you for having me. And you actually gave me a reason to look halfway decent today. So I appreciate that.
No problem. No problem. I mean, it's such a great way for me to give back and continue to be able to inspire others and to learn as well. So it's a win-win in that respect where it's inspiring people, it's helping people as well, and it helps me. So it's just such a blessing, and I look forward to continuously developing on the Keys to Success show. I know Friday we have the Polites on the show, and we have a lot of great people still lined up for the month of June. And it's
Love
like, I have a business goal within my company right now. We're looking for 10 deals in 10 days. So we've already gotten one under contract today and we're looking to get more. but it's like incorporating that, and then we stop it to do the show. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
I love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, any final words? You know, we're towards the end of the show. Any final keys to success that you'd like to leave our viewers before we sign off?
Yeah. So one thing that I'll say, if anyone's interested in getting started in investing, the first investment you can make is invest in yourself. Definitely read, follow people, partner with people, learn from people, do as much as you can to get yourself in position to be successful. Also, maybe create a brand. Think about a brand. I've dubbed myself the property princess because branding is important, right? And property, that's my business. So I want people to know what I do. Create a brand for yourself, create a platform for yourself, whatever you can do to build a network, start there and success will follow.
Wow, I love it. Well, I want to thank you so very much for taking time out of your afternoon to be on the Keys to Success show. And thank you to our viewers for tuning in. I know we have Glenn who tuned in, we have Reese who tuned in, Trina, CL Butler, Raymond. Reese said yes, Virgo.
Yeah.
Um, yes, someone else said absolutely. A few people said hello. But I just want to thank you again for taking time to be on our show today. And of course, it is your girl, Miss Lee, full-time real estate investor and entrepreneur based out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, where we go live with local business professionals and entrepreneurs to discuss some of their keys to success. And today it was our absolute pleasure to have Miss Yana Epps on the show. If our viewers wanted to get in contact with you, what is the best way to contact you?
You can either reach out to me on Instagram at The Real Property Princess. You can find me on Facebook at Yana Epps. You can join my real estate investment group, Real Estate and Investment Strategies. And if you're interested, you can also join our local meetup group.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again. And until next time, it is your girl, Miss Lee, full-time real estate investor. This is the Keys to Success show. My website, of course, is there, misskialee.com. If you guys have any questions with regards to real estate investing, I'm always here to answer. Again, thank you, Miss Yana. Until next time, we'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great afternoon.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.